Has anyone else noticed that music has just gone downhill? I was listening to Alice in Chains yesterday and I was like, this shit is like decades old and it's my favorite music still. And I was like, I wonder why that is. Is it because this generation like now, can't write deep music anymore? But I was like, I don't know. Or is it because producers just aren't, promoting deep writers anymore, letting them write their own music, and they just want like the next viral song that you don't even care about. It just has a good beat. Not to mention AI generated music. People used to make music not for noise, but because it like had something to say, especially in the past like 50 years, and now it's just like completely gone down the toilet. I try not to dog on my generation because it's my generation and I think they get dogged on enough by all the old boomers. So I usually try to stick up for them. But this trend irks me. And I hate how influenced Gen Z is for so many things. But the fact that everybody got completely tattooed after COVID and now everyone's just getting them removed because the aesthetic changed makes me have an anger inside. Actually, it doesn't. I'm like, if that's who you are and you're that kind of person, then I'm glad that you're going through that. But I'm like, you just spent your money to get tattooed and now you're spending your money to get your tattoos removed. It's a great way to recycle money, but you're not even real. What the hell? I'm not in my usual spot today because it was just too hot to make a video out there. But I wanted to make a quick little video about the music video I made the other day. It did pretty good, talking about how there isn't any good new music. And I was talking about this with some people I knew. And they were like, well, what's interesting is we know that the drums were used by pagan religions, so mainly voodoo. It's one of the oldest religions on earth, and they used it because you can control people. It puts people in trances and you can control their emotions. So for the longest time, we're creating music to control people, and so now we don't need music to control people anymore. We have technology. So I went to a coffee shop and I picked up this magazine. It was Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. And I saved it because it was so crazy to me. Beware of the Boss Tracking Your Brain was the title of it. And it is about how scientists and lawmakers are not keeping up with each other because we now have technology that you can put on a headband or any earbud and with the technology in it, read the thoughts in your brain. And they're actually testing this in China on students. So teachers can see on their front computer what kids are thinking about, what kids are struggling, what kids are being distracted by other kids in the class. And I feel like that's super freaky that we have technology now. This is old. 2023. We have technology that can see and read. I had this really cool conversation with my friend Heather, and she recently became Christian, and we were having a conversation about Christianity and the different facts about it. And I said that, yeah, it's super crazy because the English language, which we speak and know and were raised on, was actually built on Christianity. It's a Christian language. And she was like, what? No way, I didn't know that. And yeah, you can do the research yourself. I did the research. And so first English was only spoken and we used runes. And then when missionaries came, they had Latin. So then English merged with Latin, and the first written texts in English were all Christian religion-based texts. And that's where we get the word angel, prayer, grace, and a bunch of other ones. So, fun fact for you. So a lot of people know here that I love getting tattooed, and I recently got tattooed with tattoo numbing cream, Num 27 tattoo numbing cream actually. And a lot of people, when I made a comment about numbing cream, were saying how it can negatively affect the skin in certain ways. And I just want to say, this is my finished, I haven't moisturized today, so I don't know if it looks a little dry, but that's how it healed up. It healed up beautifully, just as good as I wanted it to, just as good as if I didn't use any tattoo numbing cream and I loaded it up. So probably more than I should have used. So this is just a huge misconception. There's a lot of bad brands out there, but so just do your research and make sure you have a professional tattoo artist that is educated, I guess, weathered in their field. So I've kind of gone off the beaten path recently with my content, but I've just had some different ideas recently. And this one is completely an opinion, and I know nobody asked, but I've been thinking a lot about it. I keep getting these ads for Hers. It's like an Ozempic kind of injection-based weight loss supplement thing. And it was advertised like, lose 9 pounds in a week or something. And I've lived an unhealthy lifestyle before, and now I'm super, super active. I go to the gym and cardio almost every day. It completely changed my life. I used to be super depressed, and I would say starting to exercise completely changed my life around. And I know the option to use these kind of weight loss supplement, I don't know what they're called, injections, is super awesome for a lot of people that are overweight and it's affecting them super negatively. But I think to be advertised to people just like another product is kind of sick. It made me feel really icky inside. I don't know. So a lot of you might be familiar with 1692 because it is the year that the church burned the witches. But that's not the coolest thing that happened in 1692. That's when Newton went crazy and he wrote what we know is Principia Mathematica. And what's super cool about that is that we still don't even know if we have all the parts of it. So what happened was he wrote this, and then it kind of got lost for a long time, and then it went to auction, Sotheby's auction, and so tons of people bought it, and it was all split up into little pieces. And I think, I want to say the Smithsonian, I could totally be making that up, owns most of it, but not all of it. And he wrote basically all mathematics that we know today. So I had an idea. Follow me on this. I noticed that we in America have been pushing this Indian culture recently. We had the Monkey Man movie come out, Hanumankind, Sad Guru, amongst a lot of other things. And I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute. We are trying to switch to India as our new manufacturing slave labor because China is now too expensive and we made them too rich and powerful, and they think they can start talking to us, and it's going to end up being a problem in America's future. So now we're trying to show Americans how awesome India is and try to stay away from what China is, which is communist, and frame them as this democratic superpower. This guy made a super awesome video. It was about all the stuff I've been talking about. His name is Professor Simon, and he made a video about war is here. I think that was the title of the video, and that we're in a hybrid war right now. And I thought it was super interesting because that's exactly what I think. He was talking about how right now he's all the way over in France too, and I'm here in America. And nobody has money, nobody's buying homes, nobody's buying new cars. Everybody's just in a stagnant state of just going every day and doing everything they can, but not getting ahead or getting anywhere. And he was also talking about how the tariffs right now are interesting because America's supposed to have 0% tax on imported cars from Britain, but he didn't tell customs that, so they still have full tariffs. I don't know. It was way cooler. Go. So I was going to get tattooed today, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if people are pro tattoo numbing cream or against tattoo numbing cream, because I'm personally going to use Num27 to get tattooed, and I was just wondering what you guys think. I think they're super cool, and I'd only order from them. I've tried other numbing creams, and they didn't seem to work as good for me. So go to Num27, support my homies, and let me know what you think about tattoo numbing cream and tattoos. I had a bunch of people in my last video that kept bringing up all my work. I'll have to do an official tattoo tour soon, but let me know. So I was doing some research and I found something super, super creepy. Because it's 2025, Gen Beta is now starting this year. And I was like, oh, that's cool. What comes after that? And so the next generation after Beta will be Gamma, Gen Gamma, and then Gen Delta. But Gen Delta is interesting. It will be the first generation to be able to choose to be augmented or non-augmented. And that's super scary. So it's going to mean that when you're born in Gen Delta, most of the babies will have the option to have upgrades, digital chip upgrades, and that'll be in all of our lifetimes pretty much. Holy crap, I can't believe more people are not talking about this. That's seemingly a few decades away. What the heck? I think it's super funny that everyone always talks about there being a housing shortage, but what there is a shortage of people with homes. Because I see plenty of homes, especially here in Florida, with nobody in them. But there's also rampant homeless people and people that have to move out of the state because housing's too expensive. Why don't we talk about that? There's this really crazy theory going on right now because Indeed and all these job search websites have thousands of jobs that say they're hiring, but everyone that's applying is not getting hired. And some guy actually did a test where they had hundreds of people fill out applications and no one hired them or even got a call back. And so the running theory is that they're using all people's data and selling it to bigger companies. So when you send all your information in, like your first name, your last name, where you're located, your resume, where you've been, they're taking that information and selling it to bigger companies and holding on to it because right now data is the new gold. And that's kind of scary. What do you think?